There's no guys. Trevor's saying no. I mean, ask around. Ask around. I literally was trying. I was like, guys, is there anyone from Pump that could come? Okay, no, that's why it wasn't a thing, you know? I'm like, oh, could we do this? Could we do that? Also, another thing is everyone's like, where did she get the $15,000 from? Funny enough, remember, Alex, I was speaking about Binder. You probably didn't click on that because you're a dinosaur, but this was free information, literally free. I got in at 1 mil. I called it on my Pump Fund thing, and it went to 20 mil a market cap. And obviously, we know Tetra's fucking goated, and like he's a great businessman and fucking inventor and shit like that. So there's no surprise. And everybody got like a 15x who was paying attention, right? And that's the game in this industry, is who's paying attention. So I made like 100 soul and some. And I'm like, what do I do with this 100 soul? Because what Mika does is she invests it into her content every time. Other girls, they're gonna go get a Chanel bag, they're gonna go do this, do that. I'm like, no, how do I reinvest it into this? And I really went on my reporter arc. And I think, Alex, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out, because a year ago I was like cringe jester maxing streamer on FaZe Clan, and now I'm official reporter for Peter Thiel, you know? So I think we've really leveled up here in the industry. I'm not gonna lie. That's number one. Number two, I mean, he's guilty as hell. Like I went in there because okay, I was just like, what am I doing? Like I'm in Dubai, and Books knows this. I'm like, I need to get on the ground. I need to get on the ground. So I left Dubai. I went to New York. Again, I just fully sent it. I had no plans, nothing. And then like a day prior, Milady was like, we're doing a Milady thing, and Clavicular is gonna be walking on the runway in Ramelia clothing with this New York Fashion Week famous designer Elena, right? And I'm just like, okay, I gotta see what's going on. Again, I pulled up to the Milady event alone. And everyone in crypto knows, like, the funniest part about this whole Clavicular thing is that everyone in the industry knows that Milady like will literally die on the fucking sword and be like, Mika's not Milady, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even have a Milady. Charlotte Fang doesn't even follow me. So when he was like, oh, you're working from Ramelia Corp, that whole thing was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so I went and I was like, you know what? I want to go to this event and see what's up. I heard rumors that Charlotte Fang was going to be there, and I'm like, I have to meet Charlotte Fang. Like, I have to see what this guy is on. I mean, it's been literally 7 years in the industry, and Charlotte Fang is this, you know, renowned cult leader, you know what I mean? And like propaganda artist that has ties to Peter Thiel, which is Palantir, which is in collaboration with XAI. Palantir is a surveillance company. Like, all of this is very interesting to me. And I'm like on my journalism reporter arc, like on the low. I don't live stream it. I just go just to see what's up. And I go and I'm like, wow, this is actually very interesting. And I'm reading more about Ramelia and Charlotte Fang and how they are presenting themselves. And they're literally saying it in plain sight. They're saying we are propaganda engineers for different like people. So obviously the Peter Thiel allegations are like higher and higher. And then you see Charlotte Fang, you know, his parents are with Hillary Clinton and stuff like that. So I'm like, this story is gonna be like, this is gonna be a documentary. And right now, I want to be at the center of it. Like, I want to know what's going on, just to say, like, hey, I saw some things. Like, it's very interesting to me. And that's kind of what being a content creator is. You know what I mean? You're just like, if you actually care about journalism, like, I mean, I've been doing journalism since I'm 17. Yeah, maybe it hasn't been great or whatever, but to me, this was top tier journalism. Anyways, so I go, I investigate, you know, I see what's going on. And and not to get too much into that, but whatever. I do the cook. I'm like, whatever. I was too late to meet Clavicular the night of the party. He actually did show up. Charlotte Fang was there. I met Charlotte Fang. Actually, crazy enough, I met Charlotte Fang. I got introduced to Charlotte Fang by a rabbi. So the lore was loring, the plot was plotting. I didn't even know what was going on. Anyways, like, the event is done. I actually enjoyed myself. It was very interesting. Not to harp so much on that event. We I'm just like here alone in New York. 2 days later, I'm just like, I'm seeing all these Peter Thiel clavicular allegations, like all of this stuff. And then months prior, I've been on to this case for months, literally for months. And I've just been like tracking this and seeing what's going on, because clavicular months ago, I could share it up to the top. I don't know if anyone could find it. If you just search clavicular Peter Thiel, you'll see that he got invited to a Peter Thiel party when he went to Los Angeles. And there's been a ton of rumors, right? I mean, if you make all the connections, you have Vitalik, who is the founder of Ethereum, who has a Milady PFP. And if you look into it, Peter Thiel was an early investor into Ethereum TGE. So you're kind of just like, huh? And then you look into what Peter Thiel does and you're like, huh? And then you see Vitalik having a Milady PFP. You see all of this stuff happening in plain sight. I mean, what is Milady? What is the cult? And then you look at the narratives that people push. And when you look deeper into this, you actually find out that crypto was created um, I'm trying to find a way to word this, but to manipulate the minds of young men. That's pretty much it. And Clavicular is 20 years old. And in meeting him, he was actually, I don't even want to insult him because he's just he looked very fragile. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was like, oh, fuck off, bitch, get out. But it's like, he just looked like a fragile, guy, right? And before meeting as well, he's like, I don't want to do the interview with you. I know who you work for. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? He's like, I know your company. I want 50K. I'm like, dude, nobody is paying. I don't know how to tell you this, but like, nobody's paying me to do this. Not one person is paying me to do this. I fully rotated my profits to like try to do this stunt. You know what I mean? And see what was going on. And honestly, I just wanted to see what would happen. I went in there by myself, no camera crew, just my Osmo fucking camera, put it on the desk, right? You guys could see. I had no idea they were streaming, right? So, when you look into all of this, he got really, really angry when I was bringing up Peter Thiel. And he was like, "Why are you bringing it up? Like, you're obviously this is some type of setup." But it's like, no, it's everywhere because you ran on the runway for New York Fashion Week wearing Remilia clothing. So that's what's going on. And then he said that I'm funded by Peter Thiel. But guys, Peter Thiel is gay and he funds young men, right? They're not after me. They don't want me. They want young men. And the way that they get young men is through memes and finance, which is crypto. Think about the Trump presidency, right? I mean, Milady did incredible propaganda, for the Trump presidency, and all the young men were super deep and bullish on Trump and crypto, and that was like their reason for voting for Trump. Not to get political, I'm like indifferent in the situation. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to focus on like the actual. The actual story here that I think people want, which is that that's kind of what crypto is right now. It's very government controlled. And there's another narrative, which is now that you see Andrew Tate kind of pass the baton to Clavicular. And I called it, and I think books. We were together in Dubai, and we said this on stream. It's probably somewhere, but this is like months coming where I was just like, oh shit, like I'm right here, and yeah, it's more and more clear that uh we're all just little experiments, and definitely young men and their minds are being like completely manipulated right now, and that's why nobody's able to pair bond and have babies and stuff like that, because look at the mind control that's happening. We're definitely in a cognitive war, and I've been saying that since I put out my piece on cognitive sovereignty in the summer, when I started to see this type of stuff happening in my database. So yeah, it was shocking. I definitely was caught off guard. But it's not the first time that I've been caught off guard in these types of situations. I mean, I'm happy with my reaction because obviously you guys saw the last time that I got caught off guard. With the guys in the industry, it was really really hard for me because there was a lot of like emotions involved, and I was very very shocked that certain people could blackball me and do these things. So I definitely like crashed out and reacted in a very poor way. But now that it's clear and clear that this is just what's happening in the business and in the world, especially with the Epstein files like coming out, like I'm able to actually see things clearly and was able to be like, okay, this was the setup. And yeah, I get burnt a lot, and this job definitely isn't easy. Because I get thrown in the wild. And again, like a lot of these people, everybody has a group. And if you look at me, I roll completely alone. So yeah.
Well, you're famous, Mika. I,
Get mogged, scammer.
a lot of people are attacking you from my perspective, Mika.
Retards, Alex.
But that's what I'm worried about. Books is that there's more. They have like a botnet set up, and like Mika's message won't even get out there. That's what I'm.
It's
That's the only
sheep.
thing.
They got all the like little dumb sheep, bro.
Get Myron in here. Can you get
Well,
Myron in here?
what's
Ryan.
interesting is that Clavicular like exposed himself because again, guys, I had no idea we were streaming. So I literally I was just warming up the conversation and like asking him interesting questions that I found interesting, right? Like off the rip. But then once he told me he was live, it's like, oh shit, I wasn't gonna say all of those things maybe right on live and on camera. If I knew we were live, I'd probably say other things or open up the conversation different. But I even told him we could just delete the footage. Like that's literally in the live stream and in my video. I
Take one
said,
more. Take one more.
we could just delete the footage. He's like, oh,
What
you're
made you?
you're
So like for me, I haven't watched the full clip, Mika, but from what I saw, you asked about Peter Thiel, and then he like tried to turn it back on you and saying you were funded by Peter Thiel, and then he like crashed out.
yes. And then
He
he
crashed
crashed
out
out.
because you asked about this. That's what makes me
Yes.
think like, is he funded by Peter Thiel? Like
And then
what?
Sneeko, no, they 100% are funded by Peter Thiel.
All of
And
them?
then
Like okay, so
Sneeko,
wait, they
all of
got
them.
Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate.
Yep.
They're like in a little like
They're the Avengers, the Peter Thiel Avengers. And it's like it's so obvious because their whole
why do you wait,
agenda,
wait, what makes you think Peter Thiel is funding them?
because look at what I just said. It's you're trying to get the mind control of young men.
And why does
And
Peter Thiel want the mind control of young men?
well, we have to continue to look into it. Why does he want the control of young men? Because let me see how to word this. Give me a second on how to word this because I actually just see a Sneeko clip right here. Sorry, it just popped up on my feed, and he's like, yeah, Grok confirmed that she's Peter Thiel. Milady, he said Ramelia funds her. Guys, does Milady fund me? Absolutely not.
This is your
Um,
problem, Mika, is they have more of them than you. That's what you're gonna run into.
well, that's what I mean. Now I'm afraid because I'm like, oh shit, I didn't mean to start beef with Peter Thiel.
That's what it feels like to me. Like you asked a generalized question and then all hell broke loose. It was
Oh,
like,
all hell broke loose. All hell fucking broke loose. Um, all
But
hell
these
broke
guys
loose.
like agenda is the opposite of what Peter Thiel pushes. The completely opposite.
Is it though?
It is, yo. It's a complete opposite.
what do you mean,
What
book?
is what do you mean by that?
Like Peter Thiel is more a part of the taking these people off the internet, shadow banning these people, silencing these people. Like it's the opposite of what these guys like. These guys' agenda is the opposite of Peter Thiel's agenda. That he's gay. They're anti-gay.
They're
Like it's
not anti-gay. Look at the see, you fell for the psyop books. What is more gay? then only seeking validation from your male peers and disregarding women completely. What is more gay than Clavicular being so boosted up with testosterone that he cannot even have babies? What is more gay than not being able to reproduce? And you know what I mean? That no. Everybody right now, if you look at it, so what I feel like at the end of it is, and I'm just putting my tinfoil hat on, is imagine this. You have